So, I'm sitting there, EKG, I'm exhausted, I'm tired as hell. I tell them, I'm like, am I gonna get out anytime soon? I got finals tomorrow. And they're like, no, you're not. There's no finals for you, young man. And I wind up sitting in there until 7:30 in the morning. They don't have any beds available. And what's actually even awesomer, God, well, you're fucked, is there's a dude next to me, an old man, and a little cubby next to me in the ER, and he has heart issues, and unfortunately the old boy wasn't as lucky as I was. He winds up dying. So I wind up, I get to see how, I guess, my scenario may have played out had I not been so fortunate. And definitely, oh god, come on. Oh, he's, god, fuck. How many people do this? Is terrible. Look, and I got my little squad ticket for everybody. So, yeah, we were so close, man. I thought we had it. I'm just being a dick. And so, I sit there, and I don't actually. The whole time I don't poop. Like, you gotta pro it up. I clenched them together, and I, they wheel me out. They put me in a room with this dude, okay, they put me in a room with this dude, and he decides he doesn't give a fuck that he's got a roommate. Okay, he's got this like Mexican music, like mariachi shit. I don't know, but heaven forbid if I wanted to get some sleep, dude. I'm jamming out, man. It's the fucking Soul Train, spotlight dance and shit. I mean, the showcase, whatever you want to call it. Like I'm just supposed to just fucking bust a move to this shit, because apparently that's the way it rolls in this guy's room. So I get up, go and just drain myself, just an abomination of just nightmares and terror rains out of my ass, and they're like, oh yeah, diarrhea, and they think I have this thing called c-diff, which is like apparently some kind of really bad diarrhea. One of my friends said it took their mother-in-law. It was what finished her off in the hospital. So I don't know. But apparently it's a big deal. You got to be quarantined, kinda. And so that was just that. I didn't know. I no longer had my my music blasting friend. He decided to, well, they just decided to separate us, the odd couple, before we had a chance to really get to know each other. So I moved to my own little separate room, which I love, which I'm sure I haven't got the bill yet. That's another. We'll get to that later. Oh God. So whenever anybody comes in, they have to put on like a little smock and the gloves and the mask, and it's like I am patient zero in Contagion. It's like, like put me in a frigging bubble, and they're all about I need shots in the stomach to prevent blood clots. Somebody laying there for a while, and those were okay. They weren't as bad as I thought. She's like, you can take the shot in the back of the arm, or you can take it in the stomach. I never had a shot in the stomach before, so I was like, okay, well let's try the stomach, just to see what it's like, and wasn't that bad. Only once, and I'm gonna blame it on the nurse. Was it really uncomfortable? I burned through like 7 IVs in my entire stay there, and they wanted stool samples. Now here's the thing about stool samples: when you have violently explosive, raging diarrhea, it's a mess. Okay, I have not had any experience prior giving stool samples, other than to prostitutes, and was more than a sample. Hey, whatever. Terrible joke. I don't care. So, I mean, obviously we've all been on the internet. We see what people are up to, in Japan and Germany, but they give you this bowl, and it's like a big cereal bowl with it's like a hat. You could wear it as a hat on your head if you wanted to. It's like a brim. It's like Indiana Jones, like a fedora, and you put it in the toilet, and it sort of like rests on the bowl just right, and you just kind of just duke in it, And so like I was kind of confused, like, do you poop and pee in it? Like if my pee gets in there, will the pee somehow mess up the readings? You know, like I put too much thought into it. But I'm like, okay, let me make a pure sample. So like I'm kind of like sticking my wiener in between the poo collector and like the toilet thing, so like I could pee in there. So like I'm like positioned awkwardly, and then basically when I sit down to blow out, I blow out. Okay, I blow the fuck out. And yeah, it goes into the little hat, but it also goes other places too. You know, it's a little thing called backsplash. And the two nurses come in, boy, and I'm like, I'm sorry, and they're like, why? And I'm like, it's everywhere, and the one's cool about it. She's like, hey, I've seen worse, and she hadn't seen it yet, and the other one sort of looks at me like, really? Like, I just got to fucking work today, and you're gonna fucking make me clean your shit like an animal. And I'm like, just by her look, I'm defensive. I'm like, look, I've never done this before. I don't go around pooping in hats and stuff, like I don't do that. I'm a gentleman. And look at these freaking idiots. Everybody's sitting here waiting to lose. So I give them my sample. They take it. I'm sure they've had a good time cleaning that out. But here's the thing with c-diff. Apparently, one sample is not enough. Throughout the course of these days, and I'm in there for days. Okay, I go in there late Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning, whatever you want to call it. I don't get out of there until Friday night. All right. So shots, IVs, poo, it's all there. I get woken up at like 3 or 4 in the morning, like a phlebotomist comes in, wakes me up. Need to take blood. Like they tear up my veins. I got bruises on the back of my palms, or the outer palms, whatever, not the inner palms, the outside. Yeah, I got it. On the not the shoulders, but the elbows. I mean, they were drawn for wherever they could. I don't have like good veins for drawing blood. Apparently, I learned that when I donate blood. I have like my right arm. That's it, and that was where the IV was at. So it was a friggin' just a nightmare. And then I still had to give more poop. And they brought in a little tiny toilet. Like it's a little toilet on stilts. And it was lopsided and like dilapidated. But it was much more optimal for having these blowouts. Because shit, it was more contained. And so I go and I give them another blast on that one. They take it, they test it, whatever. The third one, the guy comes in. He's a great guy. He was a really kind of a heavy guy, and he would just come in and talk to me about food. Yeah, hey, I don't care. And so, he's like, hey man, we need a third sample. We need another one from you. And I'm like, man, I've given so much poo already, And so I go and I crap in the thing, and then it's like a nurse shift change. So they see the poo in there, and they just wash it out. I hear them wash it out. So like 5 hours later, they're like, "Hey man, we still need that poo." I'm like, "I gave you poo. I gave you so much poo." And so now I basically, out of the 3 required samples, I gave them 4. Like they have so much of my friggin' crap on file over there. It's not even funny. And knock them out. And so finally, and then and this is, it all comes to, in case you're questioning, like, well, why didn't they give me something for the diarrhea? The reason is they could not give me anything for the diarrhea, because if it was c-diff, like the c-diff, it feeds off of like that poop killing stuff, and I guess it would have been exacerbated exponentially, and it was already terrible, dude. That's good. Bring the rockets my way. And so I had to wait until it was deemed non-C-diff, non-quarantinable, whatever, and it came back okay. It was just whatever raging poo it was. And so they could start giving me stuff, antibiotics and all this kind of thing, and they did just that. And I don't know if it was the antibiotics. I don't know if it was just the Duke draining out of my body, but I got better. And watch out for these spies. How many? Oh, I guess that was just, they were just following him. They were just stalking him. Oh, you kidding me? So, they're like, they come in with, you know, their test results. I mean, they test the shit out of me. They're like, all right, Dan. If you didn't know that Dannyboy is actually, yeah, I got that. I derived that from my actual name. I'm actually a Dan IRL. Whoa! They're like, all right, Dan. Your kidneys are in very bad shape. Oh, Jesus. Come on. They're like, your heart is weak. Like, I'm like, holy fuck, dude. Like, you know, if I didn't feel like I was dying before, I definitely feel like I'm dying now. Wow, that's a lot of... Oh, I'm a noob. I'm such a scrub. Oh, whoops. So, wow. I'm in bad shape. And, man. And so, you know, my hospital stay is gonna be, you know, I'm gonna be a while. I need to do a stress test, they say. And by the way, the food is terrible the whole time. You know, I mean, I'm barely eating. The IVs are pretty much more than enough. Woof. Holy Christ. So, I mean, the service is so crazy, like, and the problem is, too, I have diarrhea, so if your nurse comes to see you, they're on a rotation. And if I'm like, 1 second, got a bunch of doo-doo I'm making, they're like, oh, that's okay, I'll just come back. Just coming back means I'll see you in 6 hours. You know, it's essentially, I don't know you. Ugh. And that it just ruined, I mean, it made everything so much worse. So Friday comes around, they're like, you know, originally I was supposed to get out Thursday, and they're like, nope, looks like it's gonna have to be a Friday. And, we'll give you your, oh, holy sheesh. We'll give you your stress test. And, oh my god. Oh, save me, Tom Cruise! Save me, Tom Cruise! And, so Friday morning I get up, they give me 2 pieces, straight up, no joke, of white toast. Here you go. This is your fuel for running a stress test. And you know, some apple juice. And they say, you know, they're bragging, they're like, you know, when you get on this treadmill, most treadmills, you know, they go to a number 10 incline. We start at a number 10 incline, okay? That's how we stress you out. So, you know, they give me a shot, they scan me in a big machine, I get on the thing, I run. They're like, oh yeah, before you pass out, give us like a minute's warning so we can inject you with more crap. So, like, I mean, dude, the estimation was like impossible. Dude, it was like 7 when I ate, 12 when I do this test. Then, I do it, whatever the results are, whatever they are, and I'm back in my room. No lunch, no dinner. Like, everybody had written me off as being out of there after the stress test. So I guess the food dudes were the first to know that, you know, do not feed this guy. You know, he does not get a $400 dried out pork chop for dinner tonight. So, alright. So, I'm dying. I'm putting my clothes on. You know, like, my family came to visit me a couple days after, and I'm like, it's like, I want to die on my own. Just let me die alone. You know, it was so uncomfortable. My friends knew not to come. I mean, they tried to come, and I'm like, don't. I'm like, I'm a mess. I stink. I got a beard going. My terrible beards that I can't grow. Like, don't come. Just leave me die. You know, if you need anything, just get a Ouija board, and I'll get back to you. And, you know, the family's always obligated to come and annoy you. And so, they do just that. Like, I think I'm trying to watch the NFL draft, and I'm just like, all right, hey guys, how you doing? You can't hug me, don't get close. I might have c-diff, you know, like, you know, the same awkward silence conversations we have in any other normal circumstances, even, you know, more awkward because, you know, there's this grim specter of uncertainty in the air. So finally, after about like an hour, you know, I shuffle them out. I'm like, hey, you know, I gotta go to bed, I'm tired. They're gonna come in and do stuff. So they get out of there, I'm feeling a little better. Sad to say, but it's true. So finally, after all that, they did bring me clothes. I am released. I was gonna walk out anyways. I mean, I put all that, like all the clothes that I wore in there, like I was wearing shorts and stuff like that. I threw that shit out. I just threw it right in the garbage. And of course, you know, my friends, man, I'm kind of a weird guy, I admit it. I had hot pink painted toenails, hanging out with my female friends who went to get like petties, manis, petties, whatever ones with the toes are. So I painted my toes. I wore my flip-flops. Everybody sees them. Everybody makes a comment. Every doctor, oh, look at your toes. Look at your toes. You know, what are you, some kind of a fun boy? You know, this is how you got sick, huh? So, yeah, I, you know, wasn't thinking, whatever. And but finally, 10:30, I'm out, and I feel great. I'm exhausted, but I feel fine and dandy. A fun little side note, on Saturday, they had this thing called the Rave Run. It's a 5K in Chicago, in the heart of Chicago. I don't say I ran it, but I participated. That's how good I felt. Haven't received the bill yet. I'm expecting it to be somewhere around the 10K range. I've gotten bits and pieces so far that have totaled about $1,000. Uninsured, because I left my job and went back to school and figured, you know, DB is a titan. He's a man amongst boys. He's the lord of things. Oh, you're fucked. Wow, you know, how could anything bad ever happen to me? Well, you know what? It did. Like, yeah, I'm not stressing it. I had money already saved up for school, for a summer course. I'm taking it. It's not, you know, nothing phases me. Like I said, you know, I sat there staring at, well, I'm not gonna say staring at death, dude. That was dumb. All right, forgive me for my stupidity. But you know, I mean, at the time in my you know, lizard brain, that's what I thought. Holy shit. And so, it set me back an entire week, if not longer. You gotta be kidding me. Would you just die? Where's this engineer at? Oh, fuck your shit up. So yeah, basically, there's the old welcome back Chronicle. Wow. Man, did that suck. Boy, oh boy. I don't know if I'm gonna keep recording this. This looks just atrocious. That had to be like a fucking 45-minute conversation right there. And man, you know, one thing I learned about it though was like that I'm kind of proud of. You know, I always say, you know, hey, I'm done with the religious stuff, and everybody always says, you know, oh well, in your hour of need, you know, you're gonna be, you know, changing your tone on that one. And I didn't care. You know, I was talking to the chaplain. We had a great conversation. But never once was it, you know, I don't know, last rites and bargains and, you know, please Jesus. Oh, for me, I love, you know, I love saying God damn. I love, you know, I love taking the Lord's name in vain. That's some of my favorite swearing. I'm a connoisseur of bad words. That's, you know, that's where I sit on the fence on that. But you know, I was kind of proud of myself. I stuck to my laurels. Damn, dude, this is just shit. So I hope you enjoyed If anything positive, oh, cripe. Oh, you son of a bitch. I don't know how anything positive could have came out of that story. But, wow. Just bad. What I'll do is I'll give you guys an update in the comments on whether or not I continue this. I'm probably going to wind up editing, you know, just cutting off right here. And then I'm going to keep going through, see if we can actually complete this. Maybe I'll cut it up a bit to make it a little more palatable, because we are playing like a bunch of fucking dildos. I have no update on Wally. I know people are going to ask. I got nothing for you. Good to be back. You're a fake me! Oh my god! So who knows what's up with Borderlands 2. I'm gonna cut it here. Have a wonderful evening. Holy crap. And I'm gonna get back to this and see if I have some something to show you guys afterwards. This may be a one and done. Toodles.